I was just, like I said, I was just trying to get a triple out of it because I didn't think I got it that good. I didn't think it was high enough.
Driven to the air to center field and hit well. Jones on the run, still going. It's gone! A game winner to dead center for Cleat Thomas. Last night, Cleat Thomas's two-out solo shot in the bottom of the ninth inning set off a wild celebration at home plate, sending better than 27,000 Tiger fans home happy last night. The first career walk-off for Cleat Thomas, and what a night it was at the ballpark last night. We hope for more of the same here this evening on another beautiful night for baseball. We're at Comerica Park, Game 2 in this four-game set featuring the Orioles and the Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, glad to have you with us for the second game of the series. Ron, it's tough to beat what happened here last night. Maybe one of those games that gives this ball club some momentum.
They did a lot of things right in last night's game. First and foremost, it was Verlander who gave up some runs early, but then he settled in nicely. They had nice defensive plays. They had timely hitting. They played an outstanding baseball game last night.
Tigers did make a change to their roster, and it looks like Wilkin Ramirez will get an opportunity. He's leading off, and the last time we saw him, he had a pretty good game here at Comerica.
That he did. Curtis Granderson has been struggling against left-handers. Wilkin Ramirez was swinging the bat awfully well down in Toledo against left-handed pitching, so why not run him up here to see what he can do?
All right, now the man of the hour tonight is certainly Jared Washburn. He will make his first start in a Tigers uniform since the trade. This guy could be very key down the stretch. We'll see his first effort here tonight.
He's kind of reinvented himself from the guy that used to throw nothing but fastballs that were up in the strike zone to a guy that's added a nice little cut fastball. He's got a nice sink piece, also a changeup and a slow curveball. He is having an outstanding year this year. You would not know it by the wins and the losses, but the earned run average, batting average against, he's not walking anybody. What a pickup this was for Washburn, and Washburn is looking forward to getting this day behind him so he can kind of go about his business.
And Jared Washburn has faced the Orioles twice this year, both times obviously with Seattle. He gave up just one run in 16 innings of work against Baltimore, so we'll see how that works here again tonight for the Tigers. They take on the O's in Game 2 of the series. In the middle of the lineup, it's Mr. Cabrera, a .396 hitter at home. Cabrera and the Tigers taking on the Orioles next. Dodge Scouting Report on Jared Washburn, brought to you by Jared Washburn.
I don't have anything close to the stuff that Verlander or Jackson and them guys have. I'm a pitch to contact guy. I try to make the hitters put the ball in play as early in the at bat as possible, and just hope they don't do it with a barrel on it.
I kind of like what he said about putting the ball in play very early and often, which means the Tigers infielders will need to be on their toes, because Washburn has not been walking a lot of people this year, and he doesn't strike out a lot of people either.
So the left-hander out of Webster, Wisconsin, ready to go to work as he takes on the Baltimore Orioles for the third time this season, the first time as a Detroit Tiger. And here comes the first pitch of the ball game. Washburn missing high and away to Brian Roberts, who leads it off for the Orioles.
Washburn is a 12-year veteran in the major leagues, but he has to be awfully nervous out there today, making a start for his new club.
Missing high again, run the count to 2 balls and no strikes. And I would imagine that it's the same for most guys that get traded. They're counted on to provide big things for their new club. Just want to get that first one out of the way. And there's a strike called. Washburn last pitched on the 28th of July against Toronto. 7 innings, 1 run. The 2-1. Whistled foul down the left field line. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the leadoff man, Brian Roberts.
You got to go all the way back to July 1st, the last time Washburn gave up more than 1 earned run in any of his starts. He has been dealing.
It's been a really amazing season for him. And really, aside from Halladay and Cliff Lee, this guy was right up there as the top targets at the trading deadline pitching wise. That's belted foul down the left field line.
Expect the Baltimore Orioles to come out swinging early and often, just as they did against Verlander in last night's game. And the reason for that is Washburn is always around the plate.
Yeah, the Orioles jumped on Justin Verlander last night for 5 runs in that first inning. They were very aggressive against it. 2-2 is lifted in the air toward left center field and hit well. Rayburn on the run. He is not going to get there. 1 hop against the wall. Roberts on his way to second, taking the turn, but he will hold up with a leadoff double. Here's the rest of the starting lineup now for the Orioles. Tonight brought to you by the Romani Eye Institute. You saw Roberts leading it off. He'll be followed by Reimold in left. Markakis is in right. You've got Jones, then Huff, and Mora getting the start tonight at third base. Their bottom 3, Wigginton, Wieters, and Cesar Izturis.
38th double of the year for Brian Roberts. It's a fastball that's right down the middle. He goes down, and he goes down to get it, and he hits it awfully hard into center field. Rayburn cannot run it down. Ramirez is in left tonight. 38 doubles this year for Roberts.
And that leads the American League. Nolan Reimold takes a fastball high. He is batting .281, the rookie for the Orioles. He's had pretty good numbers against left-handed pitching this year. He bats .309 against lefties. Washburn's 1-0. Missed it high. 2 balls and no strikes.
You've got to be careful with Roberts on second. He has 20 steals this year and loves to steal third base. As a matter of fact, it looked like he was entertaining the thought of running on that last delivery from Washburn.
There's a strike right at the knees. 2-1. Washburn, 33 years old. Check at 34 years old for Jared. He will be 35 a little bit later on this month. There's a strike called. Run the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're talking about his numbers against the Orioles this season. 2 starts with the Seattle Mariners against Baltimore. His last one on July the 6th, a 1-hit shutout. Fastball missing in. Run the count to 3-2. Reimold with 10 home runs. Leads all American League rookies in that category. Waiting on deck is Nick Markakis, batting in the 3 slot tonight. Three-two pitch with the runner going and a big jump. Fouled back out of play, and that'll help the Tigers out because it looked like Roberts had that stolen.
Well, it's Everett's job right now to keep him close because Polanco is playing over in the hole on the right side of the infield. And you can't allow him to steal this base.
20 steals. He's been caught 6 times. And he'll bluff back to second this time, chasing Roberts back. There goes the runner again, and another huge jump, and it's skied in the air to center. Backing up is Rayburn. Roberts going to tag, and now he's going to come to third. He's going to get there. Roberts was actually at third base because he was on the run, had to run all the way back and still tagged up.
It's a lot of wind up there, and Rayburn was drifting on that ball in center field. And first and foremost, he's off and running, and he has this base stolen. Once the ball goes into center field, he recognizes that, and then he's able to get all the way back to second and tag up. And Rayburn is drifting on this ball because he does not know exactly how much wind's up there, and he catches it and has to back up a couple of steps, and that allows Roberts to get to third.
So the Tigers will pull the infield in with the man at third and one out. Here is Nick Markakis. Ball one inside. How long do you think, Rod, is it take a battery like this, Laird and Washburn, to kind of get on the same page? Obviously the first time these two have worked together.
I don't think it's going to take that long because, one, you have a veteran pitcher out there, and you also have a veteran catcher in Laird. And I'm sure Laird talked to him before the game and kind of got a feel for what he wants to do in certain situations. And you brought up something earlier. He's already seen this Baltimore Orioles team twice as Washburn, so he has a good idea of what he wants to do. This may be one of those games where Laird follows his lead.
Bouncing ball, base hit. It gets through the drawn-in infield. An RBI single for Nick Markakis. That is his 74th RBI of the year. It's 1-0 Orioles. Well, we told you last night this is a very, very good Baltimore team, third in the American League in hitting, and they have showed it in the first inning at least, the first two nights in this series. That'll bring up Adam Jones. Jones in the opener last night was 1 for 4. Swing and a miss. Jones 62 RBIs. He has hit 18 home runs, double the amount already that he hit all of last year. He's a first-year player with Baltimore. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And here's Washburn's numbers with Seattle. Made 20 starts, had 1 complete game. He won 8 games, but look at the earned run average. Tremendous earned run average. He was very stingy. Did not get a lot of run support.
Wave and a miss. 1-2.
Jones has taken a couple of huge swings here in the first inning. Looks like he's trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Adam Jones was a #1 pick of the Seattle Mariners a couple of years ago in 03. So he and Washburn, former teammates. Now the 1-2. Washburn gave up a double to Roberts to start the game. 1 out later, Markakis with a base hit to score the run. Shattered his bat, rolled it to second. This could be 2. There's 1. The relay in time. The double play. 4-6-3, and that's all for the Orioles. They get a run. We go to the bottom of the first. In your local newspaper or at foxsports.com in the Major League Baseball section, there is a new Tiger who was up a little bit earlier this year. Wilkin Ramirez is back with the ball club. He was called up today. And here is the Tiger starting lineup, presented by Big Boy. Ramirez will lead off. He'll play in left, followed by Placido Polanco at second base. Maglio is in right. Cabrera cleaning up. Last 6 games, he's been red hot. Thames is the DH. Then you've got Rayburn in center. Inge, Laird, and Everett are your bottom 3. So the Tigers now down by a run will send Wilkin Ramirez into the batter's box against the rookie left-hander Brian Mattis. They just keep running out rookie after rookie after rookie. And the left-hander, making his first big league start, throws a strike to Wilkin Ramirez.
And Jim Leland said last week that Ramirez was swinging the bat awfully well down in Toledo, especially against left-handers. And that's the reason why he's here today.
It's going to be interesting to see what the left-hander Mattis will bring to the ballgame tonight. It's the first time, obviously, the Tigers have seen him, the big league debut. A little bit of a hesitation in his delivery to the plate. Highly thought of prospect, number 1 pick last year of the Orioles. Waving a miss. Got him to chase 2-2.
That's a good pitch. Change-up in a 2-1 count. If Mattis is able to do that consistently, he's going to be here for a while.
Wilkin fouls it off.
Here's the numbers that Ramirez had in AAA. 330 against left-handers with 5 home runs, 19 driven in, and his on-base percentage was over 400.
That's lifted in the air to shallow center field. Adam Jones coming over. And 1 away. Well, the Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on Brian Mattis. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you.
He wasted a little time getting here. He was the 4th pick in the draft in 08 of the Baltimore Orioles. Spent some time in the Arizona Fall League. Spent some time in A-ball this year in AA before coming. You talked about the fact that he is highly touted with 4 good pitches, but he is pitching in hostile environment. Tigers are 32-16 here at Comerica Park, one of the best home field numbers in all of big leagues.
Well, here is Polanco. 4-game hitting streak for Placido, batting .263. Had an RBI and a double in the ballgame last night. And that is ripped to the shortstop on a line right at his Turris.
Let's take a look at the Orioles defense behind Mattis, presented by Honda Bloomfield. They've got some athletes in the outfield. As a matter of fact, they play both sides of the ball very well. All 3 can throw, and all 3 can really hit. Moore's at third, is Turris at short. The very talented second baseman Roberts is over on the right side with Wigington. You know Mattis is on the mound, and Matt Wieters behind the dish.
Here's Ordonez with 2 away. When you get a guy that's called up from the minor leagues, sometimes you don't get the best video on him. The Tigers were looking at some video of Mattis before the game. It was quite grainy. It was shot through the screen down in the minor leagues, so it was really kind of hard to tell what he was throwing, what kind of movement he had on his pitches. But they are getting a first-hand view of it here tonight. Really the only way you can tell what a guy has. Step into the batter's box. Deep in the hole is Turris. And the Tigers go 1-2-3 against the rookie, Brian Mattis. America Bank, standing the test of time since 1849. Your Motor City Dodge dealers. On demand from Comcast. Watch hit movies, TV series, music videos, and more when you're ready. And by Arby's Bacon Cheddar Roast Burger Sandwich. Try it today. It'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's. On the way to the second we go as Jared Washburn brings it home to Aubrey Huff, the designated hitter for the Orioles. He'll be followed by Melvin Mora, then Ty Wigginton. Orioles lead 1-0 on the RBI hit by Nick Markakis. There's a line drive, base hit to right field, maybe more. Huff, who doesn't run all that well, he's going to hold up with a single as Maglio gets there.
Let's take a look at the Tigers defensively, presented by Chrysler and Jeep Superstores. You've got Ramirez in left, just recalled from the minors. And Granderson with a night off against the left-hander. Rayburn in center. Ordonez in right. Inge, Everett, Polanco, Cabrera. That's the infield. By now you know that Washburn is making his first start at the Tiger. And Gerald Laird is putting down the fingers tonight.
Well, here's Melvin Mora. He is in the lineup tonight. Did not play in the ball game last evening. He has had, as the ball gets through, Laird all the way to the backstop, and that'll move Huff up. Mora has had a difference of opinion on whether or not he should be playing every day with the Orioles, and he has had his playing time dramatically reduced. Having a tough year offensively, just 3 homers, 27 RBIs. But he's always hit pretty well against the Tigers. Dave Tremblay, their manager. Mora takes a strike. Letter high, 1 ball, 1 strike.
This is probably why he has not gotten much playing time. This time last year, he had 15 home runs and had driven in 67.
Pulled foul down the left field line. By the way, they ruled a pass ball charge to Gerald Laird on that last play that allowed Huff to move to second. One ball, 2 strikes. Orioles trying to add to their lead. They scored 5 in the first last night, but the Tigers came marching back quickly. Bouncing ball toward third. Inge will check the runner. 1 gone. That'll bring up Ty Wigginton. Wigginton in the ball game last night, 1 for 4, had a double and an RBI. He's playing first base tonight. One of the things that Washburn gives the Tigers, aside from the fact that he's left-handed, which fits into their rotation nicely, is the fact that he's appeared in the postseason quite a bit. 3 times with the Angels, 02, 04, and 05, and won a World Series championship in 02. So he has pitched in some big games. Missing outside, 2-0. And there is a value to that, especially when you're looking for a guy that is going to probably pitch in some pressure games down the stretch here as the Tigers fight for a chance to get into the playoffs.
No doubt. Verlander also has pitched in the postseason along with Jackson. Jackson last year pitching for the Tampa Bay Rays in the World Series, and of course Verlander in 06 in that same capacity. So it's nice to have 3 guys in the rotation that have been there and done that. You know, Jackson chomping at the bit to get back out there once again after his last start in Cleveland 5 days ago, where he did not pitch very well.
He threw a lot of pitches early in that game, and I think you're right. I think he can't wait to get out there and start anew. It's been a great season for Edwin.
Yes, it has.
And he lost him. Ball 4. So a single, a pass ball, and a walk in this inning. 2 men on. with one out. By the way, tonight's game is available in crystal clear high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Comcast. Here's the rookie Matt Wieters. Had a rookie battery the last 2 nights for the Orioles. Wieters and Mattis tonight as Washburn misses inside 1-0. Double and a single, scored a run in the first inning. Popped up foul. This one will get back into the seats. Got another breeze blowing here again tonight. It was really windy last night, which made a few fly balls tricky.
Wind blowing out at a pretty crisp pace tonight to left. Anything up in that direction has a chance of getting out of here.
Matt Wieters at .268, 3 home runs. Wave and a miss, 1 and 2.
That's that cut fastball that Washburn is throwing these days. It looks like it's right down the middle. All of a sudden, you start your swing as a right-handed hitter, and the ball's on your hands. It's also got that slow breaking ball, changeup. He'll throw you a 4-seam fastball above the belt buckle. Washburn anywhere from 88 to 91 with his fastball, but he hides the baseball very well. You don't really get a good look at it as a hitter, and that's why he gets lots of pop-ups. Guys are always tardy on his fastball. Keeps it in that glove to the last possible moment.
He missed with the breaking ball high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There were games when he used to pitch at Anaheim in the late 90s where he would throw minimum 90% fastballs, and most times more than that percentage wise, but he could throw it 93, 94, and then back off 86, 87. So while it was the same pitch, they were thrown at different speeds, and he had a lot of success doing that. The 2-2. Now it's full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. One out with 2 runners on. Is Turris waiting on deck? Left that one up, and it's fouled down the left field line. Wieters last night was 0 for 4. Big time prospect, in fact rated the #1 overall prospect by Baseball America coming into this season. And boy, did they have a big celebration, big party when he showed up to the big leagues when the Tigers were in Baltimore earlier this year. Much anticipated. Roll to the shortstop and off the glove of Adam Everett. They're going to try and get a run in, and they will. Aubrey Huff will come around to score, and it's a 2-0 ball game. Base hit and an RBI on the play. Wieters gets his 14th driven in. Washburn got the ground ball, but it was a tough play.
Ball trickled right off the glove of Adam Everett, and heads up coaching there by Juan Samuel, sending Huff on the play. Did not hesitate one moment. Huff also knew that Everett did not catch the ball cleanly, therefore he knew he was going to score. Juan Samuel. Juan was a good player. Had power, had speed. He could do it all.
Is Turris with a double play ball to the shortstop. There's one, and there's another double play. 6-4-3. Again, damage held to a minimum. It's a 2-0 lead for Baltimore as we go to the bottom of the second inning now here at Comerica Park. How about our text poll question tonight? Which is the most exciting moment in baseball? Is it A, the walk-off home run, or B, the last out of a no-hitter? There's a strike called on Miguel Cabrera. You can text A or B to FSDET. And we'll get you the update. Tigers live after the game. Cabrera takes outside. Miguel leading it off here in the second. He'll be followed by Thames and then Rayburn. Tigers down by a couple. The rookie lefty Brian Mattis, only 22 years of age, making his big league debut. He was born in Grand Junction, Colorado. Went to high school in Arizona.
Went to St. Mary's High School in Arizona, same high school that produced Andre Ethier of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Young outfielder having a tremendous year out west.
The 2-1 pitch. That's your part of the country out there. Did you ever see him play as an amateur?
I probably have. I mean, because St. Mary's is kind of a rival of the school that my son Andrew went to, Desert Vista. And Matt is just a couple of years older, so I'm sure I may have seen him play against Andrew's team.
The 2-2. It's amazing. Mattis didn't sign until right at the very end, when first-round picks can sign in mid-August. He signed right before the deadline on August 15th, and here he is less than a year later pitching in the big leagues.
They sent him straight to the Arizona Fall League, which is a league full of prospects, not usually for guys coming right out of college.
Pulled foul.
But he went there and he did well, and he was rated the third best prospect out in Arizona last fall. Was pitching in A-ball, moved to Double-A, and now in the big leagues. They say he has a chance to be a power pitcher before it's all over. Lots of comparisons right now to Cole Hamels of the Philadelphia Phillies. But there are some people here with Baltimore that believe that once he fills out, he has a chance to overpower some big league hitters.
Big rip there by Cabrera. 2-2 the count stays.
He's already shown a really nice feel for his changeup. I think that's why the comparisons come of Cole Hamels. He has thrown some good changeups with good arm speed, good arm action.
Cole Hamels is pretty good company to be keeping.
Absolutely.
Wieters setting low. The 2-2. Down he goes.
Back-to-back changeup to Cabrera.
First strikeout for the rookie Brian Mattis.
Take a look at this. Our Lincoln Mercury Exmo replay. Nice pitch.
And this young man does not look intimidated at all. He just struck out Miguel Cabrera.
He got a chance to pitch a little bit in spring training this year for Baltimore. Not a whole lot. But he handled himself very well in the limited pitching that Dave Trimley did give to him.
There's Marcus Thames. 1 for 4 last night. Scored a run. And he lines this one down the right side fair. It'll go all the way to the wall. Marcus on his way to second base, and he is going to pull in with a stand-up double as the Tigers get their first hit.
What in the world is Marcus doing?
I've never seen that.
Right field is forward to Marcus, but he will take that all day, every day. Looked like he was a little late on the fastball, but when you create the right bat angle, when you're tardy, you basically take it out of the catcher's glove, and he slices it down in the right field corner. And, of course, anytime you go to right, you better get on your horse because Markakis and Wright can really throw. I mean, really throw. How far in his right field to Marcus, you ask? He's got 5 hits in that direction so far this year.
The definition of a pull hitter, 31 to the left side. So the Tigers have their first hit. Ryan Rayburn trying to drive him in. Rayburn getting his second start of the season out in center field. Curtis Granderson getting the night off with the left-hander on the hill, and Grandy has struggled against left-handed pitching this year. And Jim Leland felt this might be a good night to give Granderson a break. Called up Wilkin Ramirez. Rayburn way ahead in the count now. 3 balls and no strikes. Rayburn has hit safely in his last 3. Ryan had that big hit on Saturday night in Cleveland in the 12th inning. Second game in that series against the Cleveland Indians, and with runners in scoring position this year, he's batting a very solid .293. There's another strike right at the belt.
He's starting to get himself into a pattern, and I'm sure the Tigers hitters will pick that up. Just about every time he's fallen behind a Tigers hitter, he's gone to something soft, whether it be the changeup or the breaking ball. Sooner or later, a few Tigers hitters are going to pick up on that and jump on one of these changeups.
Walked him. First walk of the game for Mattis, and the Tigers now have runners at first and second. Tying runs are on.
And it's only natural for a young battery like this one with Wieters and Mattis to get themselves into some patterns at this level.
We'll see how they pitch Brandon Inge here. Brandon was 0-4 last night. He's batting .252, continues to struggle post All-Star break. Chance to drive in a run here. It'll also be interesting to see how Mattis pitches the second time through the Tigers lineup. This is the first time Detroit has seen him. Wieters out to have a brief chat.
Well, more than likely, pitchers won't change until you force them to change. If the Tigers start to get a few hits off Mattis, and he will probably go to some harder stuff in fastball counts. But if they don't make the adjustment, he will continue to do as he does.
Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
What's that old saying? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Absolutely. It's amazing how we're looking at the batteries of the future for the Orioles. All the young pitchers, and Wieters the young catcher.
But you bring up a great point, because there are so many guys at this level, even though they are doing well against certain teams the first time through the lineup, for whatever reason, they do change and try to go to something else, and that's when they do fall into trouble on occasion.
Driven high in the air toward left field. Reimold is under it. Inge is out, and the runners will hold. There are 2 gone. Here's what we're talking about when we say the Orioles are getting a really good look at their future.
They're going to be good real soon, because they're drafting well. A lot of the young players that they're drafting and pitchers are getting to the big leagues in a hurry. They've already got a really good catcher in Wieters, very young. Jones in center field, very young. Roberts at second base. It won't be long before Baltimore is contending in the East.
The Hernandez kid we showed there pitched really well against the Tigers when they got together in Baltimore. Strike 1 on Gerald Blair. Didn't like the call as he steps out. 2-0 Orioles lead. Tigers have the tying runs on the bases, looking for the big 2-out hit. Gerald last night 1 for 4. Two and 1.
Well, we'll see what he does here. Every other hitter that he has fallen behind in this game, and he's fallen behind quite a few, he has thrown the changeup in this count. And he goes right back to it again. But the key for him is most of the changeups that he has thrown, he has kept out of the strike zone, low.
Everett waiting on deck. The 3-1. He walked in. Ball 4. Load him up. Second walk in the inning for Mattis. He's living on the edge right here. And now the number 9 hitter, Adam Everett, will stand in. Again, looking for the key 2-out hit. Rick Kranitz, their pitching coach. Boy, oh boy, with the young talent he's had to work with this year, I bet there's been a whole lot of teaching going on.
Yes, indeed. And he's a good teacher. I mean, Kranitz has been a pitching coach for a long, long time.
Well, here's Everett. Strike one on Adam in the outside corner. Base hit here could score the tying runs. Everett this year has knocked in 31. Back up the middle. Knocked down on a great play by his Turris to second for the force.
Wow, he took 2 runs away from Detroit.
Cesar is Turris with a diving play to his left. Sparkling defensive play.
Position, and he takes a base hit and a couple of RBIs away from Rayburn. What a play. Even sweeter in Exmo. Just kind of shuffles this ball to Roberts, who's running to the bag just ahead of the sliding Laird. What a play.
So it stays a 2-0 game. Tigers came that close to tying it up. Top of the order, Brian Roberts leads it off. Lifting the first pitch in the air to right. Maglio backs up on it. And 1 pitch, 1 out. As we watch Washburn pitch more and more, you will see that he is a fly ball pitcher. And when you're talking about the 2 ballparks that he will call his home park this year, both Safeco Field and here at Comerica Park, they are both pretty good fly ball ballparks. 420 to dead center here. Nolan Reimold, the batter. Strike called on the outer edge, 0-1.
Washburn raved about his center fielder in Seattle, Franklin Gutierrez. He said he covered a ton of ground.
It's popped up. Shallow right field. Who wants it? It's Rayburn. 2 gone.
And the Tigers' everyday center fielder can cover some ground as well. So he will not miss a beat in that area.
Yeah, no, he's going to find out that that guy right there is pretty good. Grandy getting the night off tonight.
Washburn compared Franklin Gutierrez to Darren Erstad, who played center field for the Angels. And he said Erstad just made every single play behind him when he was playing in Los Angeles. Anaheim, I guess I should say.
Gutierrez must have been fearless because that's the way Erstad played the game.
Erstad for sure fearless. I don't know if Gutierrez is running into as many walls, although he did have a meeting with that wall out in right center field when Seattle was here a couple of weeks ago.
There's another fly ball, this one to right center, and a 1-2-3 inning. Fly balls, all of them for Washburn. A 5-pitch inning.
receive postseason ticket priority. Some restrictions apply. For more information, call 313-471-BALL or log on to Tigers.com.
Here's Wilkin Ramirez to lead off the Tigers' third. Tigers had the bases loaded back in the second, but the fine play by Cesar Turris robbed them of a couple of runs. Ramirez off the end of the bat, foul, 1 ball and 1 strike. But Wilkin was absolutely tearing it up at Toledo. He was hitting .345 with 21 RBIs in his last 31 games.
He's got some power. Legitimate big league power.
We get the minor league report every day here in the press box, which kind of highlights the guys that are hot, the guys that are doing it at the minor league level. And Ramirez's name was seemingly at the top of that list for Toledo every single day.
Yeah, this is what he did the first time he was up here about a month ago in his first game. Straightaway center field.
Big time power, and as Leland said before the game, I don't know what he's going to do tonight. He might strike out 4 times, or he might hit one of the bushes. The 2-2 pitch had him lunging, and it's fouled back out of play. Ramirez, one of those guys that we keep hearing his name every year as being one of the top prospects for the Tigers, yet he's only still 23 years old. He missed an entire season with a shoulder injury back in 2004. Let's see that home run again, just to kind of give you an idea of where this thing landed. Big boy territory. He's an intriguing prospect, though. I mean, you talk about a guy that has his type of power. He has hit for average. And really, on top of that, he's stolen 30 bases at the minor league level.
He's got skills.
That was the 9th pitch in the at-bat, and he'll get another.
Usually, when a hitter sees as many pitches as he has seen against Mattis, advantage hitter.
Swing and a miss.
Not this time.
It's his second strikeout. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks for Brian Mattis. Here is Placido Polanco. It was a lengthy battle, but Mattis won that one.
You can see why Baltimore is high on Mattis. He has got 4 pitches. And he's not afraid to use all 4 of those pitches. Fastball, curve, slider, and the changeup. And he's throwing some off-speed pitches in fastball counts. That's how you pitch in the big leagues.
He was pretty impressive in pitching out of that bases-loaded jam in the second.
He had an outstanding collegiate career at the University of San Diego. Good pitcher in college.
They had a ton of strikeouts at San Diego. In fact, he led the NCAAs in strikeouts last year.
Must be a smart fella, too, because that's an academic school, University of San Diego.
And another terrific stop by his Turris to his feet, and he throws him out.
Quit it, his Turris.
A short hop, the 1 hop on the backhand dive. That was pretty.
Usually your shortstop is one of your more athletic players on the field. And his Turris is displaying some athleticism here in the last couple of innings.
Ordonez bounced out back in the first inning. Maglio batting in the 3 slot tonight against the lefty. Ordonez this year 7 for 17 against Orioles pitching.
Jim just cannot find that consistent performer for that number 3 slot. One day it's Thomas. One day it's Guillen. Next day Ordonez.
And it's a pretty critical spot in your lineup. I mean, typically the number 3 spot is reserved for one of your better hitters.
Your best hitter. He had Cabrera in that spot for about 3 weeks. And he finally moved him back to that number 4 spot.
The 1-2 to center field. Shallow, and it's going to drop out of the reach of Roberts in front of Jones and Markakis. Tigers will take it. 2-out bloop single. Second hit of the game. Bring up Cabrera. Well, he struck Miguel out in his first at bat. We'll see now how Cabrera is able to do here in his second at bat.
He struck Cabrera out with 2 outstanding changeups on the 3-1 pitch, then came back 3 and 2 with the same pitch. A changeup that got him to swing and miss.
Mattis last year at San Diego was 12-2 in college with a 1.71 ERA. And immediately in getting into professional baseball this year, he was tearing up the minor leagues. Ooh, there's a big swing.
There have been already 5 players drafted last year that have made it to the major leagues already this year. Ryan Perry out in the Tigers bullpen, also one of the 5.
Of the 5, only 3 of them are currently in the big leagues, though, and Perry and Mattis and Beckham. Yeah, that's the third one. I've seen a lot of Beckham here in the Central Division with Chicago. 2-2 on Miguel Cabrera. The other 2 guys, by the way, were Daniel Schlereth and Connor Gillespie. This year in the minor leagues combined between A-ball and Double-A, Mattis was 11-2 with an ERA of 1.99. Ferguson was supposed to start this game tonight, but he was injured, and so they decided to call this young man up and hope that his minor league numbers would give him an opportunity to pitch well here tonight. So far, he's been okay. Thames waiting on deck. Maglio will be on the move, and the runner goes. It's high, ball 4. It's another walk.
Hey fans, Saturday afternoons were made for baseball, and this week the Red Sox travel to the Bronx to take on the Yankees in a renewal of their longtime rivalry. Coverage of Fox Saturday Baseball begins at 4 p.m. on your local Fox station. It hasn't been much of a rivalry this year.
Oh, I would say not.
Boston has beaten the Yankees 8 straight times.
So Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, is out again. Kranitz in his 31st season of professional baseball. Been a coach in the big leagues for 10 years. And he has given some words of encouragement to Mattis, who has thrown 61 pitches. And now with 2 men on, he'll face Marcus Thames, who doubled against him back in the second. Ball 1.
They're going to stay away from Marcus. That much is for sure. If they do go inside, they'll go in off the plate, especially the way the wind's blowing out to left tonight. And with Marcus's power, if he gets underneath it, he can try. Oh, what a swing. He can generate some bat speed.
99 home runs for Marcus in his career. The next one is a milestone homer, number 100. It would look good in this situation with the Tigers down by 2. He's worked the count in his favor now. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Well, let's see if he stays with the same pattern that he's had the first couple of innings. Every time he's fallen behind, he goes to a changeup.
Two and two.
Not that time.
Marcus talking to his bat there. He's upset with it.
That's what Ricky Henderson used to do.
Yes, he did. That misses inside 3-2. Do you think it helps?
It helped Ricky out, that's for sure.
All the way to the Hall of Fame.
It sure did.
The Bird used to talk to the baseball. Ricky would talk to his bat. The 3-2 pitch is pulled foul. Tigers have the added advantage here of starting the runners. 3 walks in this game for Brian Mattis. Marcus gets a new bat after busting the last one. That is in the air to shallow left center field. Jones coming on to make the catch, and the Tigers are turned away. They've left some runners on base the last couple of innings. And their Hall of Fame career on this date in 1948. Answer coming up in the bottom of the 4th inning. This date, 1948. Who began their Hall of Fame career? Now, see, now they're trying to give us some hints, trying to throw us off track, or maybe the answer is in one of those names.
They can get me as many as they want. I got no shot.
Really?
None.
I'm right there with you. We will find out as we go to the bottom of the 4th. And we'll have the answer for you. It's a bit of a trick question tonight, I'm told. I don't know if that's going to help you. Adam Jones leading it off. Jones, Huff, and Melvin Mora in a 2-0 game. Orioles have the lead. Jared Washburn back to the hill. Had a 1-2-3 5-pitch third. Pulled on the ground to the third baseman. Inge throws him out. 1 gone. 5 in a row set down by Washburn. Been helped out by a couple of double plays tonight.
You know, Washburn has given a lot of credit to the pitching coach out in Seattle, Rick Adair, and for some of the numbers that he has posted this year. And they kind of bent him over a little bit at the waist, telling him to kind of stick his butt out a little bit, giving him more leverage, giving him more velocity on his fastball, creating a better arm slot for him. And he has put up some tremendous numbers in the American League this year.
What's amazing to me is one little mechanical change like that could produce such big results.
Yeah, sticking your butt out.
That's all he did.
Yeah.
He said it makes him stand taller on the hill. The 1-1. It's a foul ball.
He's already given up a couple of hits in this game. The left-handers, Martakis got one, and Huff also got one. And he was absolutely dominating left-handers this year. They were having very little success against Washburn, which is what you need to do, though. If you're left-handed, you got to get the left-handers out.
Did he go? Nope. C.B. Buckner down at third, said he held up.
CB looked like he's in pretty good shape.
He looks like he's dropped a few. Not that he was ever big, but he looks trim and fit. 2-2 pitch. 3-2. Melvin Mora waiting on deck. 3-2 pitch. That'll get back into the seats. Another thing that Washburn brings you is a guy that has had good numbers this year against the Central Division, and that always helps.
Oh, for sure.
3-1 record, 0.78 ERA in 5 games against Central Division opponents. Has not pitched against the White Sox, though.
He will.
Popped him up. Inge at third base. 2 gone. Well, batting stance guy is back, and it's time for Guess the Stance. Check this out. See if you can name this big leaguer he's imitating. Stay tuned for Tigers Live postgame for the answers. See if you can get this one. This is a really good one. And really accurate.
Really?
You didn't get it?
I didn't get that one.
Think about it a little bit. I think you will. 2 gone. Here is Melvin Mora. I guess you could say this about the guy he's imitating.
I got it.
He would change his stance a lot.
Yeah, I got it.
As a chopper hit toward third, Inge will charge. And another 1-2-3 inning for Jared Washburn. On this date in 1948. And there's your answer. A little bit of a trick question tonight. Ernie Harwell with the Brooklyn Dodgers. There you go. Hey, it was a Hall of Fame career.
Yes, indeed.
And it was in baseball. The great Ernie Harwell, what a gentleman he is. I know he tunes in quite a bit still, watches Tigers baseball as much as he can.
You look up character in the dictionary and you will find Ernie's name real close to it.
In the air to shallow center as Ryan Rayburn flies out to Jones. Yeah, there's Ernie. And Ernie's gone. He'll be back. Don't worry. It's a rotating billboard. Here comes Brandon Inge. That'll always be there, Mr. Harwell's name. On the outfield wall in right center field. Always was and always will be the voice of the Detroit Tigers. Fouled back out of play. Inge 0 for 1. He fly to left field back in the second. Meanwhile, Brian Mattis has had a couple of innings in which he has had to pitch out of some heat, but he's been pretty good tonight, especially for the 22-year-old's first big league start. 19 minor league starts prior to this evening. 1-2 on Inge. Hit well to center field. Jones on the run. Not going to get there. One hop against the wall. Brandon Inge drove that ball pretty good. One out double.
Nice, easy swing here by Brandon. With 2 strikes, he gets a fastball down and absolutely clobbers the ball over the head of Jones in center field, who can go and get him about as well as any center fielder in the game. But he likes to play shallow. Granderson tripled over his head in last night's game.
Here's Gerald Laird.
I think when you come to a park like Comerica Park, if you're Jones, you don't really know how much room you have behind you, because he plays in a ballpark at Camden Yards in Baltimore that's very hitter friendly. And just about everything hit over his head at Camden Yards is leaving the ballpark. But it's not the case here at Comerica Park when you've got 420 behind you. Therefore, it may take a couple of games to really gauge where you should be playing in this yard.
Curtis Granderson has been playing here for years, and he still thinks it's one of the most difficult center fields to play in the entire American League.
It's big. It's spacious.
The 0-2. Got him. Strike 3. Laird punched out of there. Third strikeout for Mattis.
Mattis and Wieters are doing a real nice job here tonight. Early in the game, he was throwing lots of soft stuff and fastball counts, the changeup in particular. And now he's going to some fastballs here and getting some outs with that pitch. Laird thought that may have been a touch low and may have had a little bit of a beef with Mike Everett, home plate umpire.
Here's Adam Everett. Hit into a force to end the second when the Tigers had him loaded. This bouncing ball up the middle. Was flagged down by his Turris. Really good play, and they got the force. Orioles had a 21-year-old pitcher starting last night, Chris Tillman. A 22-year-old tonight, Brian Mattis. Popped up. Should find the seats. And the top of the dugout, then the seats. One and two on Everett. Trying to cash in Inge. And a ground ball fair inside the bag. He'll do just that. Brandon rounding third. He will score. Everett is on his way to second. He'll pull in with a double, and the Tigers are on the board. A clutch 2-out, 2-base hit.
The first time Adam Everett was up with the bases loaded, he was robbed of a base hit by his tourist, the shortstop, and 2 RBIs. Moore at third could not get this one. He was playing well off the line. You see CB Buckner, the third base umpire. He signals fair right away, and Inge is able to come home and score. 2-out knocks are golden.
Now a chance to tie it up for Wilkin Ramirez. Swings on the first pitch and pops it up. Roberts to the grass to retire the side. Tigers, though, get a run back on the RBI double by Adam Everett. The ballpark and what has been a good ball game. We saw the youngster Brian Mattis going tonight for the Baltimore Orioles, but Jared Washburn, his much anticipated debut, and so far Ronnie's settled in nicely. Looked maybe a little bit nervous early on, but he's been good. Well,
he did exactly as he always does. He's pitching to a lot of contact, but you got to give Baltimore some credit. They found some holes early and they've scored a couple of runs. On the other hand, the Mattis kid has done a pretty nice job himself, throwing lots of changeups early. Fastballs in that last half inning. You can see why Baltimore is so high on him.
Well, in terms of Washburn, he is known as a fly ball pitcher, but tonight he's gotten a couple of key double plays in this game.
Well, I think he had a chance to watch this Tigers infield dazzle in last night's game and knows he's got Everett, he's got Polanco, he's got Inge, he's got Cabrera over at first base. And if you do pitch to contact, more often than not, when they hit the ball at somebody, you're going to get your defenders to make plays for you.
As he has tonight, and the Orioles up by a run. Here in the 5th inning, Washburn back home, and a big wave and a miss by Wigginton. 2 runs on 4 hits for the visitors. Tigers 1 run, 4 hits. The 1-2 pitch is strike 3 in the outside corner. That is the first strikeout for Washburn.
He's starting to feel it. Does not have a whole lot of strikeouts. He's been pitching to lots of contact. He's already gotten a couple of double play balls in this game. And then a little bit later on, he started throwing the ball up in the strike zone and getting himself some lazy fly balls. So this is the Washburn that we watched when he pitched at Comerica Park about 2 weeks ago when he was wearing a Seattle Mariners uniform. He knows they're going to put it in play. He says he just tries to keep the ball off the barrel of the bat.
4 1/3. A couple of earned runs. He's retired 8 straight. 1 ball, 1 strike on Matt Wieters, who singled in a run back in the 2nd. And right now that run is the difference. Good pitch, but apparently just a little bit outside. He had Washburn staring in on that one. 2-1.
Wieters stands way off the plate, an indication of a young hitter that possibly doesn't like the ball inside. But he's got that large frame, about 6 feet 5 inches, long arms. he can get to that ball on the outside corner. He's got a lot to learn at this level, but they say that he is a keeper, and he's going to be a good one.
Well, he went to Georgia Tech, and there have been 2 All-American catchers in the history of Georgia Tech baseball. Wieters is one, and Jason Varitek is the other.
Both switch hitters.
Two and two. Three balls and 2 strikes.
You think Varitek's days may be numbered as a catcher there with the acquisition of Victor Martinez?
Well, it's starting to look that way. That last pitch looked like it was pretty close.
Washburn thought he had it.
You got to believe that Martinez is going to get his fair share of games to catch. Victor can also play first base, but they have so many guys that are kind of interchangeable over there. Euclid can play a couple of infield positions. Martinez can catch and play first. Again, the 3-2. And he threw it by him that time for strike 3. And Washburn is on a roll now. He's retired 9 straight. Second strikeout. Here's Cesar Izturis. Double play ball back in the second. Strike 1. Washburn gave up a run in the first, 1 more in the second. And when he got his tourist to bounce into a double play in the second inning, that started the string of 9 straight. There's a high fly ball hit into deep left. Ramirez to the track, to the wall, and it's out of here. Cesar Izturis hits just his 2nd home run of the season, and it's 3-1 Orioles.
He's already played a really nice game. He's made a couple of dazzling defensive plays, and then he plays long ball here. Every now and then you're going to give up a home run. It's just a fastball right down the middle. Good swing by Izturis. There's some wind blowing out to left, and Ramirez watches it fly away.
372 feet worth. The estimated distance on that one. Here's Brian Roberts. So the string by Washburn stops at 9 straight retired. 2-run lead again for the Orioles. That, by the way, is the first home run allowed by Jared Washburn in 41 1/3 innings. And believe it or not, it comes to Cesar Izturis, who has all of 2 this year. 1-1 pitch. Bouncing ball to third. Inge. Nice hands there. Throws him out. That is it. 1 run into the homer. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by BAL. Is brought to you by your Chrysler and Jeep Superstores and by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Back here at Comerica Park in downtown Detroit, the Orioles 3, the Tigers 1, in the debut of Jared Washburn. He gave up one in the first, one in the second, and the home run to his Turris in the top of the fifth inning. Polanco, Ordonez, and Cabrera for the Tigers here in the bottom of the fifth. Placido tonight 0 for 2 with a couple of grounders. The 0-1 pitch. Little looper into left, base hit. Polanco's gone that way 3 times. This is his first hit. Got some other scores that are, of course, of interest to the Tigers, including the Central Division opponents. Minnesota leading Cleveland 2-0. And Chicago leading the Red Hot Angels 1-0. There's the spread in the Central.
Let's hope the Angels stay red hot.
Yeah, we could use some help tonight from the Halos, who have won 5 straight. There's Ordonez. Amazing what the Angels have been able to do with all the tragedies and distractions they've had this year. They've got 63 wins. They and the Yankees have 63 victories, the most in the American League. 1 ball and 1 strike on Ordonez.
They've got a great manager in Social and some really good players. They've got speed, they've got power, and they're starting to get their pitching in order.
1-2. Maglio had a base hit his last time up. Apparently Jake Peavy is starting to throw again. He had that ankle surgery, and they're talking about maybe at the end of August seeing him in the rotation.
I read that. That was a nice addition for them.
Driven in the air to center field, hit well. Jones on the run is going to get there. That sounded good off the bat, but to dead center.
Jones playing a little deeper these days.
He can really play. This is a good-looking prospect. We were talking a little bit about him last night.
He reminds me a lot of Devon White, who played for Toronto, played for the Angels. Very graceful in the outfield, same kind of body type. Got those long galloping strides.
He can multitask too. He can blow a bubble and catch a fly ball. All in one felt swoop. Cabrera tonight with a strikeout and a walk. That ball's hit well. Left field on the move. Reimold not going to get it. 1 hop over the fence. A ground rule double, which will keep Polanco at third base. Double for Cabrera. And the Tigers knocking on the door again.
He can just rake. It really doesn't matter whether it's a left-hander, right-hander, change-up, fastball. Cabrera usually gets himself in a really nice position to do a lot of damage when standing in that batter's box.
Third extra base hit in the series. Cabrera had a double and a homer last night. Now a double here tonight.
He loves hitting at Comerica Park. This park was made for Cabrera.
Marcus Thames. Base hit, perhaps ties it up. Cabrera came in at .396 at home as Brian Bass begins to warm up quickly. Marcus chased one there, 0-2.
Yeah, Marcus has to put the ball in play. Whatever it takes. something on the ground will get you an RBI here. You don't have to get greedy. Just get one at a time.
Tigers now have 6 hits, the Orioles 5, but it's Baltimore with the lead. Jared Washburn tonight gave up 2 early runs and then a solo shot in the 5th, hoping that the offense can pick him up here. Got it. Strike 3. Thames is caught looking, and that is 4 Mattis strikeouts. So it's going to be up to Rayburn.
He gave Marcus everything. First pitch change up, followed by a couple of fastballs. Then he finished him off with a breaking ball. You can see why they like this young man.
Rayburn 0 for 1 with a walk. I would imagine Rayburn's percentage of swinging at the first pitch is quite high. He took off to after that first pitch from Mattis there. 0-1. Ryan getting the start in center field tonight for Curtis Granderson. Swing and a miss, and now it's 0-2. Polanco started this with a leadoff single. Cabrera doubled him to third. Ooh. 1-2. Rayburn with 29 RBIs. 2 big ones on the bases right now. 1-2 pitch. Got it. Another strikeout for Mattis. 5 for the game. Tigers strand 2 more. Reimold, Markakis, Jones coming up. Orioles in the lead. Our text poll question tonight: which is the most exciting play in baseball, a walk-off homer or the last out of a no-hitter? And the no-hitter right now is leading. You text A or B, I should say, to 37338 or FSDET. Final results coming your way on Tigers Live postgame. Washburn back to the hill facing Nolan Reimold. Pulled the string on him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Washburn has set down 10 of the last 11. The 1-1 pitch. The hook drops a little bit outside. On the ground, foul. Right to Juan Samuel. Picking out a fan. That little guy's happy. He's now a Juan Samuel fan. Fastball straightens him up, 3-2. Three-two pitch. He lost him. Ball 4. Leadoff man aboard here in the 6th. It's the second walk issued by Washburn. Pitch count right now is at 80 for Jared. Here comes Nick Markakis. Washburn now has to deal with the middle of the Orioles lineup. Markakis, then Adam Jones waiting on deck. RBI single for Markakis. He sends one high in the air. Deep into right center field. Way back, and that ball is way gone. A monster home run for Markakis. His 13th of the year. A 2-run shot. It's 5-1 Baltimore. Rick Knapp on the telephone now to have a chat with the bullpen.
Markakis looking for the fastball on the first pitch, and he got it. And he lifted and separated. He knew it was gone as soon as he hit it. He's a good player, too. They got some real good players in Baltimore. Markakis in right, Jones in center, and that kid Reimold, who scored on the home run and left.
No balls, 1 strike on Adam Jones. So Markakis now with 3 RBIs tonight, 442 feet.
Washburn came into the game today having dominated left-handed hitters this year. They were having very little success against him.
But he also dominated the Orioles this year.
Well, usually when you have as many starts against one team as he has had, they're going to make some adjustments, and you have to give them some credit because those adjustments have worked.
Five runs on 6 hits for the Orioles. Tigers 1 run, 6 hits. Two and 2. Adam Jones has hit the ball on the ground twice, one of them resulting in a double play. Dave Tremblay's team racing out to a lead last night. They've built another lead here tonight. 3-2. Zach Miner starting to warm up in the Detroit bullpen. Three-two pitch is fouled straight back. Adam Jones, when he was drafted number 1 by Seattle, was drafted as a shortstop / pitcher. Three-two coming home. That's in the air to center field. Here comes Rayburn to make the catch. First out of the inning. Seattle then, though, signed Unieski Betancourt, so they moved Jones to the outfield, and then, of course, they traded him to the Orioles in that Eric Bedard deal. 1 out here in the 6th for Aubrey Huff. Single and a pop-up. Huff's name came up quite a bit during the trading deadline, especially down the stretch for teams that needed a bat. And he's hit by the pitch. Barely. Third base runner in this inning now for Washburn, and here comes Jim Leland. Looks like that's going to be it. Skipper appears to be bringing the hook with him. And he will give up the baseball. So Washburn is done in his Tigers debut. And Wallside Windows pitching change. We'll be back.
Five runs in a game, you got to go all the way back to June 12th.
In the meantime, Zach Miner will take over. One on and one out with 2 runs in and the home run by Markakis. Melvin Mora will be the hitter against Zach. Mora 0 for 2. Twice has hit the ball on the ground to strain an inch.
Minor. And we'll take another one of those ground balls about right now.
Tigers have turned 2 double plays tonight. One in the first, one in the second. Mora last year hit 23 home runs and knocked in 104. 104 was his final RBI total. This year 27 driven in. Melvin spent some time on the disabled list back in April with a bad hamstring. Mired in a 2 for 17 slump right now. Got him. Strike 3. Mora doesn't like it. And he let home plate umpire Mike Everett know it. By the way, in Toledo tonight, Robertson and Bonderman starting their rehabs, and here are the final numbers on both of those.
Looked like they were throwing some strikes, and neither walked anybody. And when they do resurface here at Comerica Park, more than likely they'll both be pitching out of the bullpen.
Oh, and 1 on Ty Wigginton. Yeah, I would say it'd be hard to imagine either Bonderman or Robertson cracking the rotation, although who knows. But I think Jim Leland kind of intimated that.
Bonderman throwing a forkball these days. He's kind of gotten away from the changeup altogether. A pitch that Bonderman had a difficult time of mastering since he's been in the big leagues. And so now he is throwing a forkball instead of that changeup.
And those two pitches kind of have the same action, can't they?
Well, it's probably a little easier for Jeremy to throw the forkball because it's basically all you're doing is splitting your fingers, and you're pretty much throwing it as hard as he threw his fastball. The changeup was a pitch that he just continued to slow his arm action down with. Therefore, hitters knew it was coming. Bonderman was very encouraged by how he was feeling, too, when we were on that last road trip. Said it's the best he's felt all year.
The 1-2 pitch. Wigginton a strikeout and a walk. Bouncer back up the middle. Everett gets there, flips to second, not in time. Wigginton is aboard. 2 on, 2 out.
The catcher, Matt Wieters.
And Matt Wieters.
Everett showing some range to his left, but once he gets there, he can't grab a handle on it. Therefore, he can't get it to Polanco. They may have had Huff. Huff does not run real well. Had he been able to get that ball to Polanco, they may have gotten the force out at second.
Here's Wieters. Single and a strikeout plus an RBI. One ball, one strike. Wieters' dad, Richard, also played professional baseball. He was in the Braves and the White Sox organizations in the minor leagues. But what a future they believe this young man has. Played some different positions in high school. He pitched, he played first, he caught, as most of the good athletes in high school will. Number 1 prospect overall. Two-one pitch is outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Minor takes over for Washburn here in the 6th. His Turris waiting on deck. Three and 2. Four-game series between these two, and tomorrow night, Edwin Jackson, Jeremy Guthrie for the Orioles. Runners going on 3-2, and it's fouled off. Jim Leland deciding to split up Jackson and Verlander with the lefty Jared Washburn. That's why Washburn got the start tonight. A little bit of a different look to split those two guys up. There's another walk. Wieters is on. That's going to load the bases. First walk for Zach Minor. Jim has talked about this. The issue he's had with Zach at times is that he just does not trust his stuff enough to throw strikes. He nitpicks a little bit too much and ends up walking some people, and he's just walked the number 8 hitter. Now Cesar Izturis. Ball 1. Solo home run off Washburn in the 5th. 2-0. No room at the end. Bases are loaded. The runner at third base, Aubrey Huff, is the property of the starter Washburn. Two balls and one strike. Bouncing ball, base hit right field. This might get 2 runs in. Here comes the throw to the plate, and it will. Huff and Wigginton come around to score, and it's a 7-1 ball game. So the line on Washburn is complete. He'll be charged with 6 of the 7.
Torres has had some kind of day. Homering from the right side, base hit here to drive in a couple. He's also taken a couple of RBIs away from Adam Everett earlier with outstanding defensive play. What a night for his Torres.
Three RBI night, 18 for the year. And now the top of the lineup, Brian Roberts. He's got a double and a run scored tonight, 1 for 3. Eight hits for the Orioles now, 6 for Detroit, but a wide margin in the run column, 7-1. There's a strike, 1-1. Tigers just 1 for 8. Runners in scoring position tonight. Fouled away. Right back up the middle. Everett right there. That'll finally take care of the inning. They send 9 men to the plate. Big inning. 4 runs in. Inge, Laird, Everett coming up.
His debut for the Tigers this evening and gave up a couple of home runs. One to Torres in the 5th, and then one to Markakis in the 6th. Coors Light Freeze Can brought to you by your Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Brandon Inge will lead things off for the Detroit Tigers. Earlier tonight, a buddy of his threw out the first pitch. Tommy Shoemaker from Mott Children's Hospital. Look at little Tommy. Firing that pitch. Brandon made a visit to Mott's Hospital earlier this year, the Children's Hospital. They became friends. And, boy, that was just a great scene before the game.
Yes, it is.
Talk about giving back to the community. Brandon Inge and his wife Shani do a lot for the community here in Detroit.
I think the first time Brandon visited the hospital, Tommy was not there. I believe he was in surgery. And Tommy's brother was telling Brandon just how much Tommy adored Brandon, and he was his favorite Tiger. So Brandon went back after Tommy got out of surgery, and they have a really nice relationship now.
Tommy, in fact, autographed Brandon's arm that night, and he had a home run.
He sure did.
Tommy Shoemaker, which really was kind of an incredible story. It's great to see him at the ballpark, looking great today. Inge looks at a strike. New pitcher on now is Chris Ray for the Baltimore Orioles.
He's got some crooked numbers, but he's got some good stuff.
Inge is out of there on strikes. One out. Mattis, the starter, struck out 5 before departing, and now 1 here for the reliever Ray. Here's Gerald Laird. First pitch swinging, pops it up. Roberts. 2 gone. Tigers tonight have left 8 men on base through the first 5 innings. Here's Adam Everett. Doubled in a run back in the 4th. Adams hit the RBI double off Mattis in the 4th inning. Got the Tigers to within 1 run. That's as close as they have come tonight. That's low.
This slot that Ray is throwing from, and his fastball is 94, 95, and he's got a nice little breaking piece as well. How is his earned run average over 8?
That was a little bit low. Well, he's a former closer for the Orioles. He saved 33 back in the 06 season. Three-one pitch. Ball 4. 2 out base on balls. His first.
He's got somewhat of a violent delivery, however. And maybe that's why he can't find the strike zone consistently. But he's got plenty of arm strength.
So we've got a pinch hitter for Wilkin Ramirez. And Clay Thomas gets a nice round of applause. And this is why. By the way, he got absolutely hammered in that little gathering there at home plate. He'll be out on 1 pitch and the rollout to second base. That's all for the Tigers. Thomas is out. As we go to the 7th, Reimold, Markakis, and Jones coming up.
Ball or visit Tigers.com.
And here are the scores now. Boy, Minnesota putting a hurting on Cleveland tonight, 9-1 in the 6th inning, and Chicago holding on to a 2-1 lead over the Angels at U.S. Cellular Field. Zach Miner back to the mound, facing Nolan Reimold here in the 7th. Tigers trail it tonight 7-1 to Baltimore.
Minnesota was swept by the Angels over the weekend in Minnesota. I guess they went to Cleveland a little angry today.
Ryan Rayburn moves to left field, and Clee Thomas is the new center fielder with Ramirez out of the game. 1-1 is on the ground, foul. High fly ball, left center field. Thomas cruising over, and one gone. With the ups and downs of a pennant race can certainly play with your emotions, but Jim Leland says he's having a blast.
I like to think I'm a competitor. I mean, I couldn't play. I wasn't a good player, so what's left for me but to manage the best players in the world and manage against the best players in the world, and to be in a pennant race, I feel 35 instead of 65, you know. I know I look 75, but I don't really give a about that. I'm having a ball. I mean, this is what it's all about.
You know, these pennant races can be gut-wrenching night to night, different results every night. One night you feel good, the next night maybe not so good, but he is really enjoying this.
Amen, brother. He said it perfectly.
That could be trouble to the gap in left center field, and it will be. It's off the wall. Nick Markakis having himself a night, has another extra base hit.
He's nice. I mean, he's nice. You don't hear a lot about the Baltimore players, and we talked about Brian Roberts, their second baseman, last night, and who is one of the better second basemen in all of baseball on both sides of the ball, but you wouldn't know it because they don't play on national TV. And Markakis is one of your better young outfielders in the game as well. Sweet swing from the left side.
33 doubles for Markakis. Adam Jones 0 for 3. It's 9 hits for the Orioles. Trying to build on their 7-1 lead here in the 7th. Big swing there, 1-1.
He's been taking some big swings today, but he's playing long ball quite often this year, 18 of them for Jones.
I think a couple of years ago he kind of gave an indication of the type of power potential he could have when he was in Seattle's minor league system, AAA at Tacoma. Hit 25 home runs in 07.
It's hard to hit home runs in Tacoma too. It's always raining, dreary. Ball doesn't fly very well there in that ballpark. Grass is always wet and long. Did not like hitting there.
Sounds like it's spoken from a guy that didn't have a whole lot of success there.
I may not have, but it wasn't a fun park to play in.
2-2. Contrary to a lot of the other ballparks in the Pacific Coast League at that time, there were some launching pads.
That was not one of them, though. So if you put up good numbers in Tacoma, you was putting up some real good numbers.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Markakis off the bag at second. Swing and a miss. There's that big looping swing again. Jones goes down. Second strikeout for Zach Miner.
The designated hitter, Aubrey Hunt.
And when you get 2 strikes on you, one thing you need to do is cut down your swing a little bit. And Jones will learn to do that.
First base open, and that means Aubrey Huff will not hit. They're going to go after Melvin Mora, who is waiting on deck. An intentional walk here with 2 outs. Tigers have not led tonight. They trailed 2-0, then got to within 2-1, but that was it. Here's ball 4 to Huff, so he's aboard. Intentional walk puts runners at first and second. And now Melvin Mora. Hitless in 3 at bats, couple of ground balls and a strikeout. Mora has pretty much said that he has resigned himself to the fact that he will be playing somewhere else next year. Not real happy with the platoon situation, which has really dented his playing time. Back up the middle into center field. Here comes Markakis rounding third. He's going to score. It's an RBI single for Melvin Mora, so the strategy to pitch to the right-hander didn't work. It's 8-1.
Absolute right move by Jim Leland to put Huff on. But when you do put a guy like Huff on, even though Mora's numbers this year are not good, he's got really good numbers against the Tigers. And as a hitter, you focus a little bit better. It's a changeup that kind of stays up, and he hit it right back where it came from.
Markakis scoring easily on the play. 10 hits now, and even 10 for the Orioles. They lead 8-1. And a high fly ball into center field. Thomas there to end the inning. Wigginton is out. They get another run. We go to the stretch. It'll be Polanco, Ordonez, and Cabrera on the way. To visit the official online shop of the Detroit Tigers at Tigers.com. You can browse the largest selection of authentic Tigers gear, including clubhouse caps, t-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and a whole lot more. Get your Tigers gear straight from the source, the Tigers.com shop. Not a whole lot to dance about for the Tiger fans tonight. They are down by a score of 8-1. Check that out. That's pretty nice. Big old biceps there for Cabrera. Bottom of the 7th inning. It's going to be Polanco, Ordonez, and Cabrera. Chris Ray back to work. Came on in the 6th inning. Gave up a walk, but no damage done. Polanco 1 for 3. There's a ball up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Little chopper back up the middle. Roberts waits on the hop. One gone. Maglio had a single back in the third. Chris Ray pitched collegiately at the College of William and Mary in Virginia. And back in 2003 was the 74th overall pick, making him the highest player ever selected from his school. Roll toward the shortstop. On the backhand is Turris. Two gone.
He's throwing a heavy sinker up there tonight. Anywhere from 93 to 95 miles an hour. He got Polanco to pound one right in the ground to second. And he also got Ordonez to play pepper with this Turris, who's been all over the place tonight. Heavy sink on that fastball from Ray.
Here's Cabrera. Ray had elbow surgery at the end of the 07 season. For the most part, missed all of last year. On his comeback. 1 ball, 1 strike. All he did was pitch 9 games of baseball the entire year last year in the minor leagues, trying to get back to the big leagues. Going to have himself an easy 1-2-3 inning. Tigers go in order. We go to the 8th. All Baltimore tonight.
Tomorrow evening on Fox Sports Detroit and Fox Sports Detroit HD. It will be Jeremy Guthrie opening day starter for the Baltimore Orioles, going up against Edwin Jackson.
Santiago is the new Tigers' second baseman as Matt Wieters leads it off. Wieters is Turris and Roberts. The final game has Porcello and David Hernandez. It's the day game on Thursday here. And the Twinkies are coming to town. Minnesota, a much different team on the road than they are at home, but we'll see what happens. Angels now taking the lead over the White Sox, 3-2. 2-1 on Matt Wieters. RBI single plus a walk tonight. Right back to the mound. 1 out. Time for the Mercedes-Benz E-Class Attention Assist of the game. And we'll go back to really a key part in this ball game when Adam Everett was up there, and that was back in the second.
This may have been the biggest play of the game. I know the score is lopsided now, but at the time, it was a real close game early. Torres has had one whale of a game.
Bases were loaded at that point. Probably would have tied the game. It's poked into right field, base hit.
Ooh. He continues to play well tonight.
Third hit.
The second baseman, Brian Roberts.
Top of the order now, Brian Roberts. That is the 11th Baltimore hit in this game. Roberts, as a kid, would hang out in the North Carolina program, UNC. His dad, Mike, was the head coach there. And Roberts actually played for North Carolina a couple of years, and then his dad was let go, so he transferred to South Carolina. That's when he was drafted out of South Carolina. But he would hang around their facilities and get really kind of the run of the ballpark and all their facilities down there in Chapel Hill.
Nice perk to have. Dad on the staff.
Guys like B.J. Surhoff were playing there at the time and spent a lot of time with Roberts. The 1-1.
North Carolina's always been known as a good basketball school, but lately it's been turning out some really good prospects from a baseball standpoint.
Fouteyni warming up in the Tigers pen. Yeah, that basketball program, well, they won the national championship again last year. This time they were pretty good in football as well. 3-1 pitch is hit in the air. Routine in left for Raber. 2 outs. Nolan Reimold will be the batter. Jared Washburn started tonight for the Tigers, gave way to Minor in the 6th inning. Washburn at one point retiring 9 straight tonight. He gave up a couple of early runs, but really settled into it nicely, and then eventually was knocked out in the 6th after a 2-run shot by Nick Markakis. Strike 1 on Nolan Reimold. Chicago's tied it up apparently against the Angels 3-3.
Reimold is a legitimate Rookie of the Year candidate, along with Elvis Andrus of the Texas Rangers. I'm sure there's a few other guys in that mix, but he and Andrus are most definitely in that conversation. He didn't get called up until May. Did Reimold?
Porcello?
Yes, indeed. Porcello was throwing hard in Cleveland his last start. Hardest we've seen him throw all year. He was hit 95. As a matter of fact, he hit 95 a couple different times. Fastballs were firm in the low 90s.
There's another walk. 2 out base on balls. The second given up by Minor. And here comes Leland. Markakis due up. So they're going to want the lefty. Fouteyni summoned out of the bullpen. We'll be back here in the 8th. Tay knee to try and get the lefty Nick Markakis. 11 hits tonight for the O's, and they lead by 7. The numbers on Mr. Knee at the big league level.
Not bad. Over a strikeout an inning. Earned run average is under 3. Doesn't walk very many either. He's around the dish, which is important when you're pitching out of the bullpen. You've got to throw strikes.
Markakis having a big night, single double and a 2-run homer. His average up over 300 now at 301. Pulled foul on the ground. No balls, 2 strikes. Well, he needs the triple for the cycle, and this is a good triples ballpark. If he can shoot the gap in right center, that's the area where he might be able to get one. Markakis now sits safely in 7 straight. Instead, he pops it up. Left side of the infield, Brandon Inge. And that is that for the Orioles. So Knee does his job. Tigers baseball tonight on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, standing the test of time since 1849. It is hot on the field tonight. A warm evening here at the ballpark. As Marcus Thames leads it off in the bottom of the 8th. Most of the damage done tonight by the Orioles bats. They have 8 runs on 11 hits and lead at 8-1. Thames, Rayburn, and then Inge. Driven high in the air, deep into left, but it's going to hook and go foul. Marcus hit that ball high and deep, but it's just a high, long, loud strike. 0-2. Thames had a double back in the second, 1 for 3 tonight. Chris Ray is out there for his 3rd inning of work. Marcus stays alive as Wieder's unable to hold on to it. Tigers came into this game 16 over the 500 mark at home. It's in the shallow center for Adam Jones. 1 out. They were 10 under on the road. Chicago came in 4 under on the road, and Minnesota 9 under on the road.
How about that? Now, one team in the Central is playing above 500 baseball away from their home ballpark.
Not a single team. Ball 1. Angels really in the entire American League about the only team that is playing really good on the road. 31-20. 2-0 on Rayburn.
It's been a while since I can remember so many teams in baseball having a difficult time of playing good baseball on the road.
Driven to left center field. It's down. A base hit. Rayburn taking a wide turn, but holds up with a 1-out single.
Usually teams like the Tigers, for instance, you've got a Jackson, you've got a Porcello, and you've got a Verlander. That translates into wins no matter where you play. But obviously the Tigers have had their issues offensively on the road.
Edwin going tomorrow night. Brandon Inge will step in, not before we get a conversation between Wieters and Ray. And Mike Everett not waiting very long. He's immediately going out to the mound to break it up. Matt Albers tuning up in their pen. Ball 1 inside. Inge tonight with a double and run scored. He has come around with the only Tigers run this evening, to this point at least. And there's the strike. 1-1. Orioles pitching has 6 strikeouts so far this evening. 5 of them for the starter, Brian Mattis. 1-2. Brandon Inge takes strike 3. It's his second strikeout. I think Winters knew that was strike 3. Called it as a normal strike. 2 gone. Is that going to be it for Ray? It will be. Dave Tremblay will make a change here as the Orioles will go to the bullpen. 2 2/3 out of the pen for Chris Ray, and he will depart the scene.
is concerned because they've got so many guys with plate discipline and they take a lot of pitches.
Well, here's Gerald Laird. 2 outs and a runner at first base. Laird pops it up. Left side of the infield. To the grass goes his Turris. Just like that, the inning's over. 1 pitch to retire the side. Jones, Huff, Mora coming up. Tigers debut. 5 1/3, 6 earned runs. Nick Markakis a big night. Tigers just have not been able to get it done in terms of scoring runs. 1 for 8 RISP tonight. Tigers have left 10 men on base. So Futeni is done with his warm-up pitches. He's ready to go to work here in the 9th inning. Adam Jones will lead it off for the Orioles. Jones, Huff, and Mora facing the left-hander. He got Markakis to pop up back in the 8th.
Adam Jones' batting average has dipped under 300 for the first time in a long time.
Jones tonight has hit into a double play in his 4 at bats, 0 for 4. Skies this one in the air to shallow right. Maglio coming on, and that's going to be an 0 for 5 night for Jones. 1 away. Here's Aubrey Huff. Huff has been on base 3 times. Single, hit by a pitch, and walked intentionally. A little bit outside, 2-0. Futeni, the first Taiwanese player in Tigers franchise history. Tigers signed him this past January. Made his major league debut at the end of June when he was called up. The Tigers were in Oakland at the time. Had some really good numbers in AAA Toledo. 3-1. Melvin Mora waiting on deck. Cabrera handles that one, handcuffed him a bit, knee covers, and there are 2 gone. So Foutini has come out of the pen. He's retired all 3 batters that he has seen, and he will face Melvin Mora. One for 4 for Mora. He singled in a run. That was in the 7th inning. Melvin just 28 RBIs this year. He slings one in there at 79 miles an hour, 0-1. Inge on the charge will throw out Mora. 1-2-3 inning. 4 up, 4 down against Knee. Last chance coming up for the Tigers.
Courtesy of Baseball Almanac of the fastest pitches thrown. And it's sponsored by Comcast, of course. Verlander on the list. Big unit. Bobby Jenks. All flamethrowers.
And as we go to the bottom of the 9th, Albers back to the hill facing Everett. And then Thomas and then Santiago. Last call for Detroit. They're down 8-1. Orioles trying to even up this series. Missing inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. And let's see, Minnesota is about to finish off Cleveland 9-0, and the White Sox and Angels 3-3 top 5 over in Chicago. Strike called, 1-2. Albers came over in the Miguel Tejada deal a couple of years ago from Houston. 2-2 on Adam Everett. On the ground to second base. Routine play there for Brian Roberts. 1 out in the 9th.
Here's Clay Thomas.
Fleet came on as a defensive replacement, is 0 for 3, or 0 for 1, I should say. Bouncing out 4-3 back in the 6th. Actually came on as a pinch hitter and then stayed in the game defensively. He hit for Wilkin Ramirez.
Pretty good backdoor breaking ball there by Albers. Starting it off the plate outside. Cleat gave up on it and they caught the outside corner. Cleat's got that classic inside-out swing, which allows him to hit lots of balls in left center field. Also hits the ball very effectively to left field. Does not pull a lot of baseballs unless they're on the ground. Cleat said last night was the first time he'd ever hit a walk-off home run. Little league, high school, anywhere.
He got beat up at home plate, too. His Tiger teammates pounded him.
It was kind of violent, wasn't it?
Seems more violent than normal. Maybe that's what happens when you get your first one.
Shirt was all open.
Well, it wasn't a cheapie, that's for sure. Over 420 feet.
And that was a happy bunch last night. They were down 5-0 after 1. And Verlander's the one that got it back in shape, but the offense kind of chipped away little by little. Verlander said that was one of his most memorable games last night. Of course, he threw that no-hitter, but he was really proud of the way that he handled himself last night after giving up all those runs early. He said earlier in his career he wouldn't have lasted 3 or 4 innings in a game like that.
1 on, 1 out. There's Santiago. Funny, in a game in which you give up 5 runs in the first inning, you, after the night is done, called it one of your better games or one of your favorite games that you've pitched, because I guess it does show a lot of progress being made by Verlander.
He said in the past in a game like that he'd be so frustrated after giving up so many runs early that he would try to throw the ball harder. But he said last night he flipped the script. He just backed off a little bit. Start throwing changeups, start throwing breaking balls, and it worked very well for him.
Santiago is out, 2 gone. And his ERA didn't take too big of a hit. It's at 3.29.
He's still in that Cy Young conversation with Greinke and Halladay, of course. Anybody else come to mind for you other than those 2 legitimate Cy Young candidates?
Not off the top of my head. I think those are probably the top 3. Swing and a miss. Maybe Felix Hernandez.
Well, Beckett's having a good year, but I don't know exactly what his numbers are.
Jackson should have a lot more wins.
That is for sure.
That's what's going to hurt him. Felix Hernandez, 12 wins, good ERA, so I guess he's in the discussion. But it'll be interesting to see how all of these guys that we just mentioned will pitch the final 2 months of the season. For many of them, a pennant race, which means innings that are going to be very stressful, games that will be stressful, that mean a lot. Ordonez 1 for 4. Albers trying to close this one down. And the 1-2 pitch. There's the base hit into left field. This will get a run in. Cleat Thomas comes around to score. And Ordonez gets his 33rd RBI to make it 8-2. Second hit of the night.
Yeah, Melvin's got some real quick feet down at third base, but he could not knock this one down. A couple of steps and a dive. It's a great effort. Here's Cabrera. Double and a walk tonight for Miguel. That's the 8th Tigers hit in this game. One ball, one strike. Cabrera's had 3 extra base hits in this series, 2 doubles and a homer. Had 3 RBIs in the ballgame last night, but quiet tonight. High towering fly ball to center that should do it. Adam Jones is there, and the Orioles win game 2 in this series. Baltimore had their hitting shoes on again here tonight, and they defeat the Tigers by a score of 8-2. Right now we send it down to Mickey York with a preview of tonight's